Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. This is a good test. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan from Cameron Home Solutions LLC. And if you're familiar with our channel, we are primarily a hurricane prep channel. We also do DIY and heavy home solutions, digital power meters, that sort of thing. We get into a lot of different things and we really enjoy it, but our main focus is storm prep. We're live tonight. I understand President Donald Trump is on. He's coming out on board here. I've got him on closed caption and quiet right now. He's going to be doing the State of the Union, but if anybody's out there, we're committed to being live from 9 to 10 p.m. on Tuesday evenings. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to catch a little bit of the address on silent. And if anybody has any questions or wants to talk a little bit about any content on our channel, hey, you're more than welcome to do that. We welcome you to arrive. We've had a heck of a blizzard here the past couple nights up in the north and in the northeast. My brother's up in Connecticut, in southeast Connecticut. He got 20 inches of snow. My dad's up there in northwest Connecticut. He got about the same. And boy, they got walloped over in Massachusetts and over in Rhode Island. Just amazing, almost 37 inches of snow. That's just unheard of. Now, I grew up in Connecticut, and I was amazed at how much snow they had. My brother mentioned today when I talked to him that he hasn't seen this much snow since when we were kids. So that's pretty interesting. With that, my uncle lives on the Connecticut-Rhode Island border. He's just across the border in Rhode Island. They got pummeled with 20 inches of snow. They haven't seen a plow truck in 2 days, and they got their home cleaned out, etc., but they have no power, and they're running on a generator, and they're in good spirits. He's very experienced with doing that sort of thing, and he's got a plan together, and they're getting by just fine. So again, if anybody's out here and wants to chat here, you're more than welcome to reach out. I'm going to put a chat out there now. All right, I just wrote, hey, welcome. Welcome to our live session here, and I hope you did not have any blizzard issues. So we'll send that out there and see if we get anybody to show up here. The storm was an incredible thing, and the weather is definitely appears to be changing. We talk about global warming, but I'm down here in Southwest Florida, and it wasn't warm this morning. It was about 36 degrees, and it's supposed to be about as cold tomorrow morning. So, but there have definitely been some changes in the weather. I'm not sure what's going on with the weather. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not a practitioner of any of the arts that would have me say I know what's going on, but I do know things are getting a little wilder. We seem to be in more of a drought down here. When the hurricanes do come down here, they seem to be more intense. Now, we didn't have any landfalling hurricanes last year, which was a good thing for a lot of people. But we would expect that, given how things work historically, we'll be dealing with hurricanes, and that's why we deal with hurricane prep, and we are so adamant about being prepared. And one of the things that we're doing in this channel, in addition to going live on Tuesday nights from 9 to 10, and we're a smaller channel, we're new, and we're slowly building. So eventually these live sessions that may have one or two people show up in them should grow and get to more, and we can have some more engagement. We're going to be posting videos on Wednesdays, and this will be our Talk Wednesday or Wednesday Talk series. And we'll bring up various topics. One of the topics I'm excited to talk with people tonight, talk with you about tonight is we've got an organization out there that we just learned about. I've heard the name, but it just didn't ring a bell with me. And it's the, let's see if I can pull this up. This is Hope Force International. Hope Force International. I'll put that down in the chat. Does anyone deal with Hope Force International? Hope Force International is a Christian-based organization founded by a husband and wife couple in 2003. They've helped thousands and thousands of people with hurricane aftermath, getting access to resources, access to monies, access to rebuilding and helping with insurance claims and that sort of thing. They do a lot of volunteer work, disaster cleanup, and apparently it's a faith-based, how can I say that? Faith-based organization that really does a lot of good out there. And again, I thought I'd heard the name, but just did some research about it here over the last couple of days. So what I decided to do is I looked into them, and I understand that they have an ultimate guide to hurricane preparedness. It's a 10-part series that they've put together, and it's a report. And a lot of people have these sorts of things. And but this particular company resonated because they talk about stuff that just hits home. So what I've done today is Mary and I have started recording a series of videos that will air. They will upload to YouTube on Wednesdays. And what we're going to do with this first part of this Talk Wednesday series is to go through the 10-point hurricane guide that this particular organization, Hope Force International, has. And it starts out with talking about understanding hurricanes and what they are about, how they're made up, the Saffir-Simpson scale, and how you have 5 different sizes of hurricanes. You know, if you look at a Cat 1, a Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5, then they talk about creating a family emergency plan. They talk about assembling an emergency kit. Number 4, securing your home. Understanding evacuation procedures, number 5. That's very good information. Protecting your vehicles, number 6, with a little section on electric vehicles. Number 7 is financial preparedness. Number 8, mental and emotional well-being. Number 9, post-hurricane recovery. And then number 10, developing a comprehensive communication plan and staying connected. So Hope Force International has a very comprehensive plan. Apparently, they've got contacts with many organizations, and there are a lot of organizations apparently that go out and do this sort of thing. And there are many people that certainly do a lot of good in the community, for sure. I like it because they are a faith-based organization, and they bring God into the picture. They do things as God and Jesus would have done. When they're with a victim, they walk alongside the victim. They share their support. They share their hope. They share their grief. They share their struggles. And they seem to be very empathetic and very understanding, which is absolutely a wonderful thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and talk about those details. And we've already started recording some videos. The first we'll post tomorrow. In addition to that, we've got some unboxing videos, toolbox unboxing videos that are coming up. We've got some other work here that we did in the garage. We just ran an internet connection over into our garage because we spend so much time in the garage shooting videos and taking care of things. That tends to be basically my office, if we look at it that way. That's my man cave. But we've got a hardwire connection out there now. We did have wireless internet, but we find we have a stronger and faster connection with direct wire. So I go ahead and I can go out there and do things with Mary, and then we can just bring better stuff to you guys. We've got a new 4K camera coming. So this camera that we're using for the live presentations, it's a 1080 camera, and it's not a bad camera, but obviously technology has moved on, and we've had this thing since 2021. It's 5 years old. So we just ordered one. It should be here tomorrow or the next day, and then we can up our game there for you guys there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw another chat out there. All right, so hello everyone. If you have any storm prep questions or comments, we'd be happy speak with you and hear your thoughts. And I'll put here in quotations because you can't hear too much in the chat. There you go. All right. We see the president is starting to speak right now, or he has been speaking for the past few minutes. And it's interesting how the presidents over the years, they'll speak for a few minutes or a few seconds, and then up and down, up and down. These senators and congressmen, they get more exercise in this one night than they seem to all year with the up and down, up and down. But I'm just, these are interesting times, but I'm glad I live in America, and I am proud to be an American. I don't support everything that goes on, but this is not a political show, and I don't talk about that. My thing is, when Mother Nature blows, she's nonpartisan. She's not Democrat. She's not Republican. She's not independent. These things happen, and we just have to deal with it. So that's why we're out here. When we have to fix something in a home and we decide to film it, maybe we can help somebody, and that's the whole point of our channel. If we can come out and reach out and assist 1, 2, or 3 people with a video or with a live broadcast or with some of the stuff we do on our website. We have our book, Real Life Hurricane Prep. We also have a cookbook entitled You Gotta Eat. So if we can help a few people with this material that we have, then we're doing the right thing, because what we're doing is working to give back to people, to pay it forward. We've helped hundreds of people over the years with hurricane prep, storm prep, generator prep, that sort of thing. And this is our time to help give back, because we've had so many people help us. And you'll hear me say that in other videos, and Mary will say that too. So we're just going to bide our time here. We're very fortunate that we're at the end of February. We've got some months to prepare before hurricane season starts up again. And a lot of times you'll hear about the things that we'll talk about on our channel and say, hey, there's nothing new. We've heard all that before. We had a person who commented on our YouTube channel and said, hey, this person's brought out stuff here about the past ice storms. They said, this is anything different than we've heard 15 years ago. And that person is correct. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is the same. But so many people fail to take heed of the warnings, excuse me, that it bears repeating. Because there's always somebody new to come in. There's always somebody new to hurricane country or storm country. There's somebody who's new to wildfire country. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to expect. So people like us come out there and we work to put that education out there, put the information out there. And that's what we're doing here. And that's why we're here today. And that's why we're committed to doing this. We've helped so many people over the years down here in Florida since moving down here in 2012. And now we've got a chance. We wrote a book about the experiences, and it contains a lot of great information. Again, that book is Real Life Hurricane Prep. You can see it in the description below. And then we wrote a cookbook, which goes along the same lines of learning to cook, learning to understand how to cook and eat healthy so that you can be better prepared for when Mother Nature comes knocking. So that's out there too. And our website, and of course the content in our YouTube channel. So we just want to reach out and help people the best we can. So if anybody's got any comments or might want to stop by, hey, feel free. We'd be glad to answer some questions and engage in a conversation and see if we can't offer any assistance. And the only other thing too, by doing this YouTube stuff, it gives us an opportunity to learn a lot as well. Because anytime we go out and do a live, if we can talk to somebody or learn something or gets a piece of information that we wouldn't have gotten before, we leave this live presentation better than we first started out coming into the live session. So if anybody comes out here, wants to join us, hey, the same thing is going to happen to you. It's about good interaction, good, positive, supportive interactions, helping each other out, no matter what walk of life you come from. And we're all in this together. So, hey, this is a good thing. I'm Dan. I'm with Cameron Home Solutions LLC. We are primarily a hurricane prep channel here at YouTube. We also do home improvements, both small home improvements, heavy-duty home improvements. We've got a bunch of videos on rigging and lifting. And it's our thought that if people learn how to use a hoist in the garage and learn how to pull and tug and lift with straps and work with chains, etc., when you get to that serious aftermath of a storm and you're in the cleanup phase, you can get some common sense ideas on how to clean things up, what to do, how to work safely. And that's what we're working toward at this time. That's why we're doing this sort of thing. So welcome if you've come by. We've had a couple people come in and come out, if I'm reading the numbers right here, but it'd be great to have you out. And again, we appreciate you coming by. If you have anybody who is involved in the storms up in the north and the northeast, we certainly sympathize. Our prayers, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your families. Again, we have a family member without power up in Rhode Island. They're very capable. My uncle is a very capable individual, and he'll certainly get by fine up there. He's been through it before, and he really knows what he's doing. I've got a brother up in Connecticut who got hit with 20 inches of snow. He's fortunate where he lives. The power grid is very stable, so he doesn't have an issue with power, so that's a good thing. And my dad is fine, too. He generally doesn't lose power where he is up in Northwest Connecticut. So they're all doing well, but if you've got friends and family up there, we certainly wish you all the best. We've got another relative in New Jersey. They got hit with about 18 inches of snow, and they're doing fine. The family's doing well, and apparently they still have power. Luckily for them, the family works from home, so it makes it a lot easier. They don't have to go trudging out and drive the crazy roads with the crazy drivers out on those snowy and icy roads. We'll do another chat here, a little itchy on my nose tonight. All right, has anyone experienced the power outages spoken of in the north and in the northeast? If so, how are you doing? Now, it's interesting that I'd throw that question out there, but sometimes when people run generators, etc., they're able to get their internet connectivity back depending on their connections at the house and at their home, and that really works out well for them, which is good. It all just depends on how they're hooked up and how they're connected. I see we've got the men's hockey team over there in the chambers over at the Capitol during the State of the Union speech. I wasn't quite sure if they were going to actually be in the room or not, but apparently they made it into the room, and that's a pretty patriotic moment for some folks, which is great. So with regard to storm prep, I'll mention it again. Mother Nature, she's nonpartisan. She's not Democrat. She's not Republican. When the winds blow, they blow. And if you're in the way, you're going to get moved around a little bit. And if you can get to safety, hey, you go for it. So that's a very good thing. We're out there to help people. We're not worried about your race. We're not worried about your creed. We're not worried about any of that sort of thing. We're out there to help. And we've had so much help from so many people, and we just want to give back and do the same thing. So that's why we're here a little bit this evening. I need to make sure I don't hit any of the share screen buttons. I don't want to inadvertently broadcast the television out here and get a strike here for a copyright violation. So just being careful with what I'm working with here, and just take our time. I expected it to be rather quiet this evening, but it's a good night to practice when you're out live like this, and maybe somebody might watch this broadcast and may learn something and may say something that may resonate with somebody, and that's the important thing. One thing that's so important when it comes to storm prep is financial preparation and being prepared financially to handle storms. You always want to have some cash with you, whether it's a few $100s or a couple grand, depending on the size of your family, if you have to evacuate, what you need to do or where you need to go. but you make sure you want to have singles, 5s, 10s, and 20s. You don't necessarily want to run around with $50 and $100 bills. Let's say if there is a power outage and you have to evac somewhere and point of sale terminals aren't working and you need to buy some food or do something, you're probably not going to get change back if you give somebody a $100 bill for $30 worth of stuff. So we always recommend having small bills, small denominations. It just makes it a lot easier out there. And with regard to financial preparation, always have some money aside, because if you're in a storm situation and you have to prep your home or you have to leave your home and stay at a hotel for a few days, it's going to cost some money. So you're going to need some money to do that. I know not everybody can afford that sort of thing. And then again, there are people that have no problem stroking a check or paying cash and staying away for 2 weeks if they had to. Whatever situation you're in, and you just make the best of what you have. But certainly being financially responsible, budgeting some money for improvements to your home, budgeting money for insurance deductibles, budgeting money for repairs that might need to be made to your home after a storm hits, all that's very important. And a lot of people just, hey, I'm the same. I like to have fun with my money. We like to, if we do a little traveling or do this or that, that's a whole lot more fun than putting up a hurricane shutter or buying a chainsaw or paying the arborist to come out and do some trimming of our trees to make them more hurricane resilient during hurricane season. But these things need to be done. It's just part of home ownership when you're in the hurricane belt, and it's just part of being a responsible citizen as well. And again, not everybody can afford to do that sort of thing. You might live in an apartment, and it's up to the landlord and their management company or the landlord themselves to decide whether they're going to trim trees or do this or that to make things safer. But if you are a homeowner, you want to make sure you keep things cleaned up and take care of it. So financial responsibility really helps, because if you can discipline yourself, put the money aside, it certainly it can make a big difference in the storm scenario. And from somebody here who has come from having no money to having a few dollars, where my wife and I can be independent, take care of these sorts of things, it's good. And we certainly advocate that for anyone. I talked about Life Force International here, and one of the things that they advocate is financial responsibility, which is mentioned in one of their 10 hurricane modules that we'll be discussing in the upcoming weeks on our Talk Wednesday event. But the idea of being financially literate to the point where if maybe you don't know much about money, you might want to get some financial counseling and get some financial education. That's all fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's an absolutely great thing to do. We currently have 79 subscribers on our channel, and we want to thank each and every one of you for being out there and making the commitment to checking out our stuff and looking at what we do and how we do things. We certainly appreciate the love. We appreciate the support, and we couldn't do it without you. And we enjoy what we're doing. We're having fun doing this. It's a lot of work. Oh my goodness. My wife and I never realized it would be this much work, being out and working on a YouTube channel and making videos and taking care of all the ancillary things involved with it. But it is a lot of work, and I got to give a lot of credit to YouTubers, fellow YouTubers out there creating content and helping people. It is a ton of work, but it's also very satisfying. It's a lot of fun for us, at least currently. And it's very rewarding when we have the opportunity to engage with viewers who decide to become subscribers, or if somebody just contacts us and they have a comment or they have a question. And we've had requests for some information, and we'd go ahead and make a video and customize a video and send it out. We had somebody who asked about portable power supplies, and how many cups of coffee you might be able to brew with a certain size portable power supply. Well, we took the portable power supply that we had and we ran a test on an equivalent machine running an equivalent, I believe it was a 1500 watt Keurig machine that they were asking about. Well, we don't have a Keurig machine. We just do drip coffee, the old style percolator method. But we did have a 1400 watt toaster oven. So we used the toaster oven and we took that and we were able to put together a test and give some data to this person. So that turned out to be very helpful. So we're happy to do that sort of thing. But yes, I have to say, for anybody who takes the time to watch YouTube, to actually make comments on YouTube, and to actually get out there and be a fellow creator, it is a ton of work. It can be very challenging, very frustrating, but it's also very rewarding. Because when you get that 1, 2, or 3 subscribers who reach out and engage and ask questions and keep returning, it hits you right here. It means so much. So again, to the subscribers that we have and for the subscribers we'll get, because we're going to keep going here, we thank you very much for your dedication and your efforts. And we certainly appreciate the support. And you're helping us because we learn from you every day as well. You know, we're new to all this stuff. We never spent time editing videos. We never spent time picking out cameras and trying to figure out why our telephone has such weird color balance issues in the sunlight versus when we come indoors. For those of you who watch our videos, yeah, the first ones were pretty cruddy. They were pretty crummy, but we all start somewhere, don't we? And you'll see now that the videos, as they move along, they're getting better and better. And the next time you see a live stream presentation like this, the camera resolution is going to be a lot better. And we look forward to that. And the sound will be better as well. Currently, we're using these little DJ mini microphones. We also have another wireless mic that we use. That they've been wonderful. We're trying to pair them with our laptop, and we're going to be getting a wired streaming microphone to connect to the laptop, and again the 4K camera I was talking about. So that'll help us give you better product. So we're doing the best we can with what we have now. I just ask that you be patient. And maybe the video quality might not be the best. The audio has been pretty good. So just be patient with us as we grow and we learn, just like learning to edit videos. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of work. But we've certainly learned a ton. And it's been very rewarding. It's been very good. We've had some very interesting DIY projects of late here. We just ran some wired internet into our garage, so we don't have to rely on that sketchy Wi-Fi out there anymore. We actually recorded some videos out there today and got things set up again for our Talk Wednesday sessions that we'll be doing here. We're going to take that time and just showcase mainly hurricane prep on that time. You'll see hurricane prep and DIY videos, our long form videos. They'll be put out on usually Fridays. Sometimes it's Saturdays, but generally Friday evening. And then we'll be doing these live presentations Tuesdays from 9 to 10. And that schedule may change based on viewer demand. There was a time when our viewers were out there watching on Tuesday evenings, and then that seemed to move around to where we had more Saturday and Sunday activity. And again, our commitment is just to be there, to learn the programs, learn how to do this stuff, learn the editing, try to give you as best a quality as we can. And if we can resonate with a few of you viewers out there, then we will have done our job. We've had so many people help us with storm prep and projects over the years. This is our opportunity to give back. And again, my name is Dan. I'm with Cameron Home Solutions LLC. My wife, Mary, and I live in Southwest Florida. We've helped hundreds of people with hurricane prep over the years since retiring to Fort Myers, Florida in 2012. And we're a little north of Fort Myers now, 14 years later here in 2026. And we're very happy to be here. We love Florida. We've had a few cold days here in Florida, but we didn't have 20 inches of snow with it, so we're doing okay. We're very well with it, and we plan on staying here for a very long time. We really enjoy it. I'll put another chat out there. What I said here was, has anyone experienced any issues with not having enough money with them if they had to evacuate ahead of a storm? That I have been in that position, and I know what it's like to go somewhere and not just forget your wallet, but just not have the means, not have the resources to get what you need or to help your family. It's an awful thing. And we've worked very hard to overcome that over the years, and we certainly don't wish that on anyone. But if it has happened, hey, feel free to reach out. Be good to talk to see if we've got something that may go on. You may have something to share as to how you may have gotten out of that situation, and how you were able to help others or people were able to help you. So again, if you have any answers to these questions, you want to reach out, please feel free. We just had a visitor stop in here for a little bit, and they go in, they go out, but that's okay. It happens with time. If YouTube content creation was easy, I would say everybody'd be doing it. And now, having been into it for about 7 months, 8 months, it's not easy. And I give every creator that we've ever watched, and we watch some fair amount of content as we learn about this stuff. We certainly give people a whole lot of credit for what they do, and definitely give credit to the viewers. It takes time and effort to view stuff, and especially to comment and give feedback. So we appreciate that so much, and it's just helped our channel to be better and better. The hurricane prep and storm prep niche is a very interesting funnel to be in, because for us it's seasonal. You know, the hurricane season ramps up on June 1st and it ends on November 30th. So it's more of a seasonal station for us, but we are putting content out there now so that people can read and study, especially people who might be new to the hurricane zones, no matter where you live, whether it be Florida, again, up the East Coast, along the Texas coast, wherever you may be out there in Louisiana, Mississippi, and wherever. And if we can offer some good experiences, some videos, some historical perspective, we'd be glad to do that for you. And that, again, that is why we're here. So if you have any comments or wish to come in and just offer anything, feel free. We certainly appreciate having any input that you have to say, because anything you might say may help somebody else, and that's what matters. We currently see the President of the United States in the chambers there giving the State of the Union, and got the whole crew in there this evening. It's always interesting when you see these kinds of presentations. In some countries you can't see this sort of thing, so I guess we have to consider ourselves lucky. We may not have the most perfect country, but I'd rather be here in America. There are other places we could be, and nope, I'm happy to be right here. Things may not be perfect, but I'd rather be in this country than anywhere else, to be honest with you. I like the fact that we can travel from Florida right up to the Northeast and visit family. We don't need passports and papers and that sort of thing to cross state lines. I like the fact that we can pretty much buy what we need and get it shipped to our home. We're very lucky. We don't have to wait 6 months for parts. And God bless you if you live elsewhere and you're handling things that well. That's wonderful. I just know for us, we in being able to live and interact and be with people, I think we've got a great thing going here in this United States of America. Things may not be perfect, but the country's perfect for me, and it's perfect for my wife too. So that's great. One thing that'll be coming up here, and we can close with this today or this evening, is that as the weeks go by and as we ramp up for another hurricane season, Mary and I are going to be putting together a generator series. We're going to be we covered that extensively in our book, Real Life Hurricane Preps. We've got a lot of great information in the book about generators. We run a diesel generator. It's a water-cooled diesel generator that's 10,000 watts. It turns at only 1,800 RPM, so it runs very quiet. And if you don't have that and you've got, let's say, a Duramax 15,000, it's churning at 3,600 RPM to give you the power you need at 60 hertz. That's totally fine. You might run on gasoline. You might run on propane. You might run on natural gas. We're going to be talking about these different types of generators. Maybe you own a variable speed inverter generator, which generates very clean power and is really great for gas savings. We'll be talking about those as well. I think one of the big things that people need to realize, and so many of you know this already, we know this already, having been around generators for about as long as I've been alive, but you want to size your generator correctly. You want a Goldilocks generator. You don't want it to be too big, and you don't want it to be too small. So if anything, being a little bit bigger than you need is a good thing. Then you don't tax the machine so much, because when you take these smaller generators and you run them right on the edge, the power curve can get dirty and it can just be real hard on the machine. Conversely, we know some people that have a nice big generator, but it's too much generator, and they end up burning a heck of a lot more gas than they need to keep their house running safely. So it's a bit of a balance, but we'll talk about that. We'll have videos coming up here in the next couple months, and we're excited to do that sort of thing. And we know that we're going to learn a whole lot, because there's been some great advances in technology too in the generator field. So that's really going to be nice. I'll put another chat out there. I asked, does anyone have the new inverter generators that have been on the market over the past couple years? That's an interesting question, because the technology increases every year. The machines get better. They seem to get quieter. We've seen power tests and videos, and we know friends that have the machines. Gosh, these little suitcase inverter generators, they're about, I'd say about this big. Nice little machines. You can barely hear them running. And we had one guy after Hurricane Ian, he had a little generator and he kept his wine cooler going and his refrigerator and a coffee pot. And that's all he cared. He could make a little pot of coffee. He had kept his wine cool and he was able to keep his fridge cool. And they had this little machine that, gosh, you could barely hear it when it ran. It was absolutely fantastic. But the inverter generator technology has certainly come a long way, and that's absolutely fabulous. So, we're going through a time of tariffs and rising prices, et cetera now, but I'm just very happy that the technology is available. Not everybody has that availability of technology like we do here, and we're very fortunate that we can make choices and make storm time a little less onerous for our households, for those of us who are able to pick up generators and who are able to use them and who want to. I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing to have for your house. My name is Dan. I'm with Cameron Home Solutions LLC, and I want to welcome you to our YouTube channel, welcome you to this live event. We've had some people bouncing in and bouncing out, and that's fine. People are busy. They do their thing. And tonight, we're just out here. If anyone had a question or wanted to put a chat out, you're more than welcome to do so. And this is an opportunity for us to get more familiar with the camera, to interact with our subscribers and viewers and with others who may not be subscribers, but who may just want to come out and offer some chats, etc. It's good practice for us because we're just going to keep doing this weekly, and it just helps us to be better and more comfortable in front of the camera so that when we do have people and have an interaction, we can actually carry it forward and make it more productive. So that's a great thing. We're coming up on 10 to the hour. We'll be running this until 10 o'clock. And again, we've had a couple people pop in and pop out. Appreciate you at least coming that far. That's wonderful. These are live sessions. Not too many people usually get on a live session, especially not with a channel as young as ours is, but that's okay. We wanted to put the offer out there and put it out there and just let you know that, hey, we're here. We got you covered. We've got a lot of information to offer on our channel, and we're also still learning on our channel. So we're happy to learn from anybody who wants to come in and give us some constructive words and some words of wisdom. More than happy to do that sort of thing. So again, our channel is about hurricane prep, but you can also take the word hurricane out and you can substitute that with a wildfire. You can substitute it with a snowstorm or a blizzard. Storm prep is basically storm prep, prepping for any kind of an emergency, excuse me, or prepping for any kind of catastrophe. It's pretty much similar across the board. It's basically being aware. It's basically being able to plan ahead and think about some of the problems you may run into as as a natural or a man-made event may happen. And if you've got yourself armed with the tools that you need to get through a storm and a crisis, You are head and shoulders above so many other people. So we think it's just wonderful that you need to be prepared, know what to do when there's an emergency or a disaster or a hurricane or a blizzard. And if you can set yourself up to the point where you can cope and make it easier for you and your family, then you're doing a good thing. And with regard to all this stuff, with regard to storm prep of any kind, Mary and I believe that self-reliance is the best insurance. If you can handle things on your own, if you know how to do things and you're able to comfortably cope with things, then you can help your neighbor get more self-reliant and comfortably cope with things. And what we mean by self-reliance is not relying on government services when an emergency comes through. If you happen to get totally wiped out and you have nowhere to turn, hey, that's fine. But in so many cases, a little bit of education and preparation for a family on their own can keep them off the government dole. They will have choices. They can evacuate. They can plan ahead and do things in a much safer fashion. They're not reliant on government services, which are very slow in coming after a disaster, especially if there are a lot of people in need. You look at a Hurricane Katrina situation and just think about the awful devastation that happened down there in New Orleans and what it took for people to get back on their feet. If you're one of these people who are prepared and can act on your own, these are totally different circumstances, but that's what we advocate. We advocate self-reliance. We advocate just learning about storm prep of any kind, learning about emergencies and how to deal with it, and running drills and practicing preparation. This is all good stuff, and it'll just help you to be better able to cope with things as you come down the road and come down the pike. Again, self-reliance is the best insurance in our estimation. I just put a chat out there and said, hey, we believe that self-reliance is the best insurance for a family. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on preparedness? All right. Again, my name is Dan. I'm with Cameron Home Solutions LLC. My wife, Mary, and I live down here in Southwest Florida and have for many years. We enjoy living down here, and we're in the heart of hurricane country, and we've helped hundreds of people prepare for hurricanes and help prepare their generators, etc. over the time we've been here. And we decided to write a book about it called Real Life Hurricane Prep. You can see that in the links in this description of this video and in our channel. You can also see it on our website. And we've got a number of videos dedicated to hurricane prep, and we also offer DIY solutions. And because we understand that a lot of people do things on their own. They prep for hurricanes and storms on their own. They take care of projects alone. They don't always have friends or people available to help them. I know for me, when I'm on a job working at things in the home, I'm generally alone. I'm usually in empty homes. People are usually away. They call me in to do work, and I've run a word of mouth business for a number of years, and they just call me. I come do the work, but I'm usually alone. So I'm forced to come up with tips and tricks to allow me to do a job safely and quickly and efficiently. So I wanted to share some of those different things that I do and that we've done, my wife and I have done, in the hopes that we can help people. Because if we can share some of the things that show a mechanical aptitude and learning about some different things that we do, so a lot of that knowledge that we have came from our heavy construction and farming backgrounds. And that stuff just puts us head and shoulders above people who aren't exposed to that sort of thing. So when a storm does come around, you know how to handle a chainsaw, you know how to change a flat tire, you can understand some of the physics of rigging and towing and machinery operation. So we work on imparting that knowledge to folks, because it just may very well help them somewhere down the road. There is no perfect background if you're going to be a prepper of any kind. If you have a keen interest in what you're doing, if you have an interest in being aware of your surroundings and being willing to learn and just adapt to the circumstances, you can do very well no matter what situation you're looking into. The idea is you'll never have all the answers, but by being prepared for storms and hurricanes and blizzards and that sort of thing, you can make it less stressful for you, less stressful for your family, and you'll be less of a strain on community. You won't have a strained community resource problem. You can leave resources for other folks and who need it more than you do. And I think that's the wonderful thing about that self-reliance that we like to preach. And I shouldn't say we preach, but we gently preach it on our channel. Take care of yourself as much as you can. And that's just a good thing, because you can lessen your reliance on government institutions and entities that'll be so strapped when a disaster does come to your area. They're so busy helping people that if you can help yourself, in some ways, that's the best thing you can do. It's better for you and better for society. The more you can do for yourself, the more you'll be able to help yourself, and the more you'll be able to help your neighbors and help your community. I'm going to put out another chat here. All right, I said thanks to everyone who stopped in to visit this live session this evening. The time is 10 o'clock. I appreciate your taking the time and being here with us. We had a few people pop in and pop out, and that's fine. We understand the background here doesn't exactly lend itself to be super attractive, but that's okay. One of the things we've learned on YouTube is sometimes you can't judge a video by its appearance. And if you stick around and listen to the whole thing, you may learn a whole lot, and maybe more than you expected, which has been a wonderful thing, and it's been a boon for us. Now that we're out there creating content for y'all, we hope we can do that. We hope we can give you some value add as you come out and spend the time on our channel and look at our stuff. So we appreciate your coming out. Please, if you have any comments, feel free to drop a comment. Feel free to ask a question. Thank you very much for coming out. Thanks for your time. I'm Dan with Cameron Home Solutions LLC, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.